Nnamdi Kanu is not a criminal. 6. Or rather, stop pleading to Tinubu for his release. IPOB makes case for the detained leader of indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu. And this warning goes to the Igbo elders or leaders or whatever they call them, Igbo Efulefus. Biafra, when silent speaks. I repeat, when silent speaks. Anyway, my wonderful people, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I welcome you all to another episode of Nnamdi Kanu's release and shenanigans that accompanies it. Once again, thanks for joining us on this program. I still remain your wonderful people, your one and only Okulora One Lesia. If you get this message, endeavor to share your opinion at the comment section of this video. What you think we should do and how we should navigate the issue of Nnamdi Kanu's release, because now it is becoming clearer every day by day that what we are having is persecution and not prosecution. Anyway, kindly let me know what you think at the comment section of this video as you watch, share, like, and subscribe. The indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, expressed discontent yesterday regarding what they perceive as the actions of notable Igbo individuals pleading with Bola Ahmed Tinubu for the release of their leader, Nnamdi Kanu, rather than demanding his immediate and unconditional release. IPOB asserted that Nnamdi Kanu is not a criminal and has not committed any offense that justifies such pleas for his release, labeling the actions of prominent Igbo figures as disgraceful and unacceptable to IPOB. Let me pause here. Let me quickly drop this information here. Yes, in the real sense of it, IPOB is right. How can you be pleading for Nnamdi Kanu's release when he has never committed offense? But the Northerners now are not pleading for federal government to allow Bello Tunji to leave. They are pleading to Bello Tunji now. Federal government is pleading to Bello Tunji, begging him to stop attacking people, promising him hefty works and reward if he could drop arms. And then the terrorist leader is giving them conditions. We are living in a zoo, an animal kingdom. I repeat, we are living in a zoo, an animal kingdom that justifies wrongdoing, and also the innocent are being punished. Some people are making this statement that IPOB is supposed to beg. Beg for what? Is it not when somebody is wrong that they're supposed to beg for forgiveness? You want you to beg now so that they will attach conditions to Nnamdi Kanu's release. And when you come out now, you don't need to talk anything about IPOB, which I know that they have been persuading him since to drop this agitation. In a statement issued by East Media and Publicity Secretary Emma Powerless, titled "Cease Pleading with Tinubu, Demand the Immediate and Unconditional Release of Nnamdi Kanu Now," IPOB referenced a recent occurrence where a notable Igbo individual was seen appealing to Tinubu for Nnamdi Kanu's release. Here is the statement in full. The indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, under the leadership of Nnamdi Kanu, categorically rejects and condemns the shameful spectacle of Igbo figures, including the likes of Jude Idimogu, groveling before Bola Ahmed Tinubu with pleas and beggarly appeals for our leaders' pardon or release. Such cowardly submissions are seen in Idimogu's recent public groveling, where he begged Tinubu to free Nnamdi Kanu as a political favor to boost APC's 2027 fortunes and revive the Southeast economy. Wreak of self-serving opportunism and betrayal. The insult the intelligence of the Biafran people, undermine the rule of law, and perpetuate what we call the false narrative that Nnamdi Kanu has committed any crime warranting mercy from a regime built on impunity. Let's be unequivocally clear. Nnamdi Kanu is not a criminal in need of pardon. He is a prisoner of conscience, a political prisoner unlawfully abducted from Kenya on June 27, 2021. My brother, you make a mistake. On June 21, or rather June 19, that is when they abducted Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Extraordinary rendition him on June 27. Okay, so let's continue. In a blatant violation of Kenya's sovereignty, Nigeria's Extradition Act of 2004 and international treaties, including the African Charter on Human and People's Rights and the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights. That is ICCPR. Oh, sorry. Okay, moving forward, before I continue where I stopped, let me also remind the so-called beggars. These people have been begging from Muhammadu Buhari. Obiozo, who happens to be the former Ohadezendi Beribe President General, begged. Emmanuel Iwanyanwu begged. A lot of people, what they call another one again, Mbadiwe, also begged. All are late to Buhari that let it be their last wish, at least as elder statesmen, if he can do that for them before they join their ancestors. Buhari did not do. Okay, let us forget this begging now. Let us focus on the real matter on ground. Appeal Court of 2022 have set Mazi Nnamdi Kanu free, discharged and acquitted. Kenya Court of 2025 have set Mazi Nnamdi Kanu free, discharged and acquitted. High Court in Ebonyi State have set Mazi Nnamdi Kanu free, discharged and acquitted. High Court in Aba, High Court in Enugu State. All this thing I'm telling you is not State High Court, it's Federal High Court. They have set Mazi Nnamdi Kanu free. And now you people have turned to become a beggar. Oh, God have mercy. Anyway, both Kenyan and Nigerian courts have affirmed this criminal abduction. The Kenya High Court ruled it illegal, and Nigeria's Court of Appeal, in its subsisting judgment of October 13 of 2022, discharged Mazi Nnamdi Kanu outright, declaring no Nigerian court had jurisdiction to try him due to the jurisdictional nullity caused by its forceful rendition. This appellate discharge, grounded in fundamental defects, stands as a final acquittal under Nigeria jurisprudence, irrevocable unless explicitly stated without prejudice, which it was not. Suleiman versus Federal Republic of Nigeria of 2018, Mohammed versus State of 2017. The Supreme Court's December 15 of 2023 ruling remitting the case for trial is a pre-inquisitum travesty, a nullity that cannot override the Constitution of the Fulani Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended, Section 36, subsection 9, enshrines ironclad protection against double jeopardy. No person discharged by a court of competent jurisdiction shall be tried again for that same offense. The highest law in Nigeria is the Constitution, not the Supreme Court, and any judgment flouting constitutional safeguards is dead on arrival. Furthermore, the charges rely on repealed laws of Terrorism Prevention Act of 2011 and 2013, extinguished under Section 6, subsection 3 of the Interpretation Act of 2004, with no seventh clause to revive them. AG Federal Government versus AG Abia State, 2002. Okeke versus State, 2019. The Do Novo trial before Justice Omotosho commencing March 29 of 2025, where Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was forced to plead not guilty, anew is an absolute nullity, void in ab initio for lacking jurisdictions. Begging Tinubu reinforces dictatorship and autocracy, portraying Nigeria as a lawless fiefdom, where executive whims trump judicial finality. It signals weakness to our oppressors implying Kano is guilty when the law has exonerated him. IPOB warns all well-meaning individuals, IGBO Efulefu leaders, and the public to cease this degrading pleading immediately. It does not bode well for the rule of law. It is marks of complicity in state-sponsored terrorism and judicial banditry. Henceforth, we demand the immediate and unconditional release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. He has been discharged and acquitted. No court, not even the Supreme Court, can subvert this without offending the Constitution and inviting anarchy. We call on all Biafrans, freedom-loving Nigerians, and the international community to amplify this demand, obey the law, respect the Constitution, and free Kanu now. Failure to do so exposes the Tinubu's regime contempt for justice and accelerates the inevitable collapse of this contravened contraption called Nigeria. IPOB will not fold its arms while our leader is intimidated into an unjust trial. We urge mass mobilization protests, legal actions, and global advocacy to enforce the Court of Appeals verdict. Those who continue begging will be seen as enablers of oppression. History must surely judge all of you harshly. Hashtag Free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu now. Hashtag Biafra referendum. Another headline we are going to treat here. When silence speaks, according to Biafra, it will be foolhardy to expect us not to be critical of the Directorate of Sabo DOS. However, criticism is not constructive is nothing more than noise disguised as feedback, meant to wound rather than improve. Every Biafran should go to bed thinking of how to strengthen the struggle if we truly want to achieve results. I was taken aback some weeks ago when the former PRO of IPOB South Africa, Mazi Agha Nnachi, stated in a video interview that it took a meeting between him, myself, Mazi Ofoma, and IPOB South Africa National Coordinator for him to understand how the IPOB structure works. Despite years of serving as national PRO, I doubt he fully understands the structure even now. However, this particular statement, his removal from office and his joining autopilots are telling on why IPOB South Africa is in its current stage. I am now overly concerned by the chaos. As Machiavelli said, the true test of allegiance is crisis. Mazi Chinasa Nworu has stated that Onyendu Mazi Nnamdi Kanu himself said he will hold the DOS accountable if they failed. Some misunderstood this as a statement of blame. I see it as a statement of responsibility. Onyendu has also said the Directorate of Sabo DOS is the highest decision-making body of IPOB. This means that by IPOB law, the DOS is the final authority within the movement. Therefore, the question of whether DOS succeeds or fails rests not with Biafrans or the enemies of Biafra, but with the DOS itself. The work of the DOS is not about being liked, it is about survival, doing what is necessary. On this front, the leadership has acted decisively, as seen in how they were able to do what is necessary and have kept IPOB financially afloat despite relentless attempt to strangle our resources over the past 4 years. They have shown that power must be protected not only from enemies but also from our own internal weaknesses. We have at a certain point said that the DOS, you must address this enemy and other enemy, thinking it was the best way to protect the organization. Yet, we often forget that our strengths can also be exploited as weakness. That the same voice that can protect can also jeopardize. That muscle that can restore can also destroy. As a good manager, the DOS has been able to manage their silence successfully. A good leader knows when to speak and when to remain silent. When infiltrator Ikenga became a topic of public discussion, many demanded that DOS speak out. Notably, no one asked IPOB South Africa to clarify the matter until death. It became clear that the demand for the DOS to comment was a deliberate attempt to weaponize their influence and against the movement. The DOS navigated that danger with skill. Infiltrators never meant well. Many I have encountered in recent years seem positioned to tarnish the DOS by claiming close ties with its members while simultaneously undermining the struggle. They tell people they talk to Mazi Chika Edoziemo and other members of the DOS. They use gossip and insinuations to confuse people, knowing that our people's love for rumor makes them vulnerable to manipulations. Similarly, Nigeria's propaganda machine continues to spread false narratives. Both the infiltrators and the Nigerian government understand that power doesn't just crumble overnight. It doesn't come with mighty warning like a huge explosion. It crumbles piece by piece in silent whispers of doubt and the perception of weakness. As strategic as silence is, it is not always strength. Sometimes silence is surrendered and the people are always watching. The challenge for leaders is that outsiders often are unable to differentiate the silence of power from the silence of surrender. I don't believe IPOB South Africa's current silence is surrendered. Rather, I see it as calm before a cleansing storm. And I hope you people are taking note. Finally, I advise every member of the leadership to be careful of those who flatter and feed their ego while enjoying chows. They seek to steal their clarity. They smile and sing their praises in public, screaming how the DOS is wise, but whisper in private. There is also another group to be careful of. Those who sing praises of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu while maligning with other members of the DOS. Such people are more dangerous than open enemies. For while enemies sharpen our tools, these friends blunt them. No matter how pleasant their voices, you cannot rebuild an empire with the very hands that helped bring you down. Written by Suchima Mbaneli, and this one is for the Family Press, or rather Family Writers Press International, bringing this joy to the family, or rather to the world. So anyway, my people, I beg you, we don't have much time to waste. I just say make I read this article. In fact, make I just drop it here, so that when you we are not pleading with the zoo to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Rather, we are demanding for his release. And I'm sure that the few points I have read out here were able to convince you, but not to confuse you, that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is now a political prisoner. And we are waiting to see what happens next. But before then, like, share, comment, and keep subscribing for more interesting videos. I, Uglora, will always be here to serve you. Kachineke mezi okwu.